Okay. So the first part of my presentation will focus on digital tools and platforms for biodiversity monitoring conservation, because digital platforms are playing a critical role in biodiversity conservation by providing real-time data and analytics on species and ecosystems. The second part will focus on reforestation technologies, drones, AI, and seed planting robots. And the third part will actually explore these amazing ocean cleanup technologies, sustainable fishing innovations. So first, the digital tools, actually the digital platforms are revolutionizing biodiversity monitoring in remote or endangered ecosystems by providing new ways to collect, analyze, and share ecological data more effectively and efficiently. So how this is happening? First, we have the remote sensing and satellite technology, so high-resolution data collection. Digital platforms linked to satellites and drones provide high-resolution imagery of remote ecosystems, allowing conservationists to monitor changes in vegetation, water levels, and animal populations over time. It's about global coverage, because remote ecosystems that are difficult to access, such as dense forest or vast marine areas, now can be monitored continuously through satellite technology, offering comprehensive data that would otherwise be difficult to collect manually. Very important, what we call citizen science. Citizen science is a fantastic, it's an amazing experience here in Greece with the Greek Astrom Space Company I'm collaborating with. We participate in this kind of projects. Believe me that we can find, for example, amateur astronomers who can offer valuable scientific findings, more important than even professional astronomers. So actually, citizen science, what is this? It's any activity that involves amateurs, no professionals, and the public, and has the potential to bring together science policymakers and society, which is important. So this field also is revolutionizing. There are many apps and platforms that we need to know, like, for example, iNaturalist or eBird. Nature Serve allows citizens, tourists, and amateur naturalists to contribute observations of species, expanding the reach of biodiversity monitoring. And this crowdsourced data provides valuable insights into species distribution, migration patterns, and even rare species sightings. It's about also faster data accumulation, faster, because with contributions from millions of users, biodiversity databases are updated more frequently, allowing scientists and conservationists to track changes in species populations, environmental conditions faster than traditional monitoring methods. Here you can see the platform of the European Union, Citizen Science, an amazing platform. You can see here many projects, resources, training resource organizations. You can explore this and take an idea. AI about data analysis, because here AI and machine learning tools are used to analyze vast amounts of data from camera traps, acoustic sensors, and satellite images, automatically identifying species and tracking their behavior. For example, AI can detect animals in photos or audio recordings, helping to monitor elusive or endangered species without human intervention. It's about predictive modeling. Digital platforms equipped with AI can predict changes in biodiversity based on environmental trends such as climate change or habitat destruction, and this helps conservationists forecast potential threats and take preventive measures. Real-time monitoring, of course, so it's about immediate response. This quick action can prevent further damage to fragile environments, and many platforms use GPS and satellite tracking to follow the movement of tagged animals, such as endangered birds or turtles or elephants, allowing scientists to understand migration patterns and critical habitats even in remote areas. Open data, very important. Many digital platforms now promote open data policies, allowing researchers and organizations to share their findings. This collaborative approach leads to better coordinated conservation efforts across different regions and ecosystems. And when we talk about centralized databases, platforms like the Global Biodiversity Information Facility is actually a platform with centralized data from various sources, make it easier to access and analyze information about species distributions, environmental health on a global scale. So these digital platforms are making biodiversity monitoring more comprehensive, more efficient, more accessible, enabling real-time insights and collaboration on a scale that was previously unimaginable, especially in remote or endangered ecosystems. I mentioned before about the role of citizen science platforms in conservation efforts, because this enables data collection from remote, understudied, or hard to access regions, increasing the geographic coverage of biodiversity monitoring. This is important. It's about frequent updates. You can imagine with millions of participants using these apps, all this data is updated more frequently, providing real-time information. Species discovery, in some cases, citizen scientists contribute to the discovery of new species or the identification of rare or endangered species, which can help prioritize conservation actions. It's about also engagement in public awareness, public involvement, because citizen science platforms create opportunities for people to engage with nature conservation, building a broader understanding of environmental issues, more opportunities for education advocacy. By participation in such projects, citizens often learn about the importance of conservation and can become advocates for policy changes. So I repeat again that citizen science has to do with amateurs and non-professionals, so everyone can participate in these projects. Data collection at scale, large-scale data gathering, citizen scientists can gather more extensive data on species distribution, behavior, and seasonal patterns, more diverse ecosystem monitoring, monitor various ecosystems from urban environments to rural marine forest ecosystems. They supplement professional research, they fill gaps in professional research, which is very important, and support species conservation. So how can citizen science platforms can be further improved? Of course, through enhancing data quality and verification. This can be done through standardized data collection. We know that one challenge with citizen science is ensuring data accuracy. Introducing more standardized protocols for data collection can help improve data reliability. AI-assisted verification, because integrating AI tools to assist in verifying species identification could help reduce errors and enhance the credibility of the data and the expert review systems, creating a network of experts or community moderators to review and validate submissions. Better participant training and resources, so more training modules, adding gamification elements also, data integration and open access, so centralized base, I mentioned before, technology accessible improvements, more user-friendly platforms, and offer offline functionality. It's about long-term engagement feedback, so participation feedback, and community building. So now, how can AI and machine learning enhance the accuracy and efficiency of species identification and habitat tracking? Through automated species identification, it's about the possibility, there are systems which use convolutional neural networks. It's a type of deep learning algorithm to differentiate between various species based on patterns in their physical features, color, size, shape. So this can be applied to animals, birds, plants, and even insects. So AI-powered image recognition systems can analyze photos or videos from camera traps, drones, or smartphones to accurately identify species. Audio identification, this natural language processing algorithm can be adapted to recognize bird songs, wall calls, or frog croaks, allowing for non-invasive monitoring of elusive or nocturnal species. And high accuracy, of course, how now we can accelerate data processing analysis through rapid data analysis, more efficient species monitoring, and helps also with habitat mapping and change direction through the satellite drone image analysis and predictive modeling, because AI can combine environmental data, climate, soil, water, with habitat data to predict how ecosystems might evolve in response to threats like climate change or urbanization or agricultural expansion. And these predictive models can help conservationists identify critical areas at risk and prioritize conservation efforts. Mapping species distribution, we can predict machine learning models actually So we said that drones equipped with AI can patrol protected areas, and machine learning models can process thermal or motion sensor data to identify human presence in restricted zones. And predictive analytics for poaching, because we can analyze historical data on poaching incidents, wildlife movements, and local conditions to predict where future poaching might occur. Support citizen science and data quality improvements said before, and predict species behavior and population trends through animal movement tracking, through population trend analysis. We can analyze long-term data sets on species populations, on weather patterns, and land use changes to predict population trends. It's about real-time alerts also and decision support systems, so immediate threat detection. AI can provide real-time alerts for threats such as forest fires or poaching or invasive species incursion. Of course, these AI-powered decision support systems can help policymakers prioritize actions based on the most urgent threats or opportunities for positive impact. Drones and satellite technologies now, how they are reshaping environmental conservation through remote sensing for habitat health. Drones equipped with cameras, multispectral sensors, and light detection ranging systems are capable of monitoring the health of ecosystems, including forest, wetlands, and coral reefs. A high resolution imagery monitoring biodiversity. So wildlife tracking with drone species detection, identification, the forest and land use monitoring. Of course, this way we can combat illegal activities I mentioned before. With reforestation, habitat restoration, drones have revolutionized reforestation, as we're going to see later. Climate change monitoring and disaster response is another issue, how we can track the climate change effects and how also we can provide real-time imagery to guide disaster response and recovery efforts, ensuring that conservationists can begin restoration work as soon as possible. Data integration for better decision-making, so integrate conservation strategies, and accessibility cost effectiveness, because drones especially offer an affordable solution for monitoring large areas that would traditionally require extensive manpower and resources, because they can quickly cover vast, difficult to reach terrains and such as remote rainforest, mountain ranges, etc., with a cost-effective tool to monitor ecosystems at a global scale. And the global coverage with satellites. So what about big data now? Big data and real-time analytics are transforming conservation efforts by providing conservationists with the tools that they need to make more informed, timely, and effective decisions for species protection. So by harnessing vast amounts of ecological, environmental, and biodiversity data, these technologies can enhance monitoring, improve predictive capabilities, and streamline decision-making processes through comprehensive monitoring data integration, so aggregate diverse data sources, tracking species in real time, the early detection of threats, very important, so invasive species detection, habitat quality and suitability assessment. This has to do with environmental health monitoring, because real-time analytics can assess the health of ecosystems and their ability to support species by analyzing environmental factors such as vegetation cover, water quality, and soil conditions. We can identify critical habitats and predictive modeling for species, especially we talk about climate change impact prediction, population dynamics modeling, by analyzing data on species populations, breeding rates and mortality rates. Conservationists can create predictive models to understand how species populations will evolve over time. And of course, this enhances decision-making because optimizes conservation strategies, and it's about real-time decision support. About now resource allocation, big data helps conservationists allocate resources more efficiently by identifying priority areas for species protection. So more target conservation efforts, optimizing patrol routes and monitoring, and public engagement, stakeholder community, because we share data for transparency. And of course, it's about collaborative disease making, disease monitoring and management also. Epidemiological modeling, big data can support the development of epidemiological models that predict how diseases might spread within wildlife populations. And another part of my presentation is to do with reforestation and how we can use seed planting robots, drones, AI. Drone-assisted reforestation actually has become a promising tool now for a large-scale ecological restoration, especially in areas that are difficult to access. However, its effectiveness compared to traditional manual planting methods depends on several factors, such as the type of environment, the scale of the restoration project, the goals of reforestation effort. So what has happened in the past? We have now more speed and scale. Restoration, it's about the cost effectiveness, the effectiveness of seedling survival, the environmental impact and soil health. We have minimal soil disturbance, very important. Drones generally cause minimal disruption to the soil compared to what was happening with traditional methods, as they do not require heavy machinery for planting. So this is beneficial, and especially in fragile or sensitive ecosystems where soil compaction or disruption could harm the environment. Long-term sustainability, drones can be used for post-planting monitoring, which allows conservationists to track the success of the reforestation efforts, the applicability to different environments, because drones excel in remote, steep, or difficult to access areas where manual labor is impractical or unsafe. So these advantages, of course, speed, efficiency, accessibility, scalability. On the other hand, what would be the challenges? The high initial investment and maintenance cost, the limited seed variety, because not all seeds are suitable for robots, and the soil variability. Different types of soil or environmental conditions can limit the effectiveness of seed planting robots. For example, robots may struggle to penetrate dense or clay-heavy soils, or perform poorly on extremely steep slopes, which could result in less optimal seed placement. Seedling survival rates and effectiveness, adaptation to changing conditions, the limited capacity for ecosystem complexity, and regulatory technical barriers. Of course, AI tools can help monitoring forest health, I mentioned before, also through here we need to know also about what is happening with the materials, because there are innovations also in biodegradable seed pods that have made drone reforestation techniques more effective. These recent innovations in biodegradable seed pods for drone-assisted reforestation has significantly improved the efficiency, the sustainability, and effectiveness of the technology. This has to do with more with nutrition-rich pods, for example, smart seed pods, microbial enhancements, aerodynamics, and flight compatibility. Many innovations in these fields. Innovations have led to more ecosystem-specific seed pods. For example, some pods are designed with unique coatings and materials that protect seeds from extreme weather, such as droughts or heavy rains, which can be a common challenge in remote or degraded landscapes. Or nutrition-rich pods to enhance seed germination and early plant growth. Some pods are filled with organic matter, minerals, and nutrients. Smart seed pods. Smart pods have incorporated remote monitoring and drone technology integration. And some of these pods have embedded sensors that actually track environmental conditions. So amazing innovations in this field also. Reforestation technologies contribute to global climate change, definitely, because they can help with carbon sequestration, soil generation, restore biodiversity, scaling up reforestation efforts, support climate adaptation. And the key global climate goals that we need to tackle is about net zero emissions, of course, UN Sustainable Goals, the biodiversity targets. And the key innovations now, before concluding, has to do with ocean cleanup technologies. This is amazing also. First, we need to mention the ocean cleanup project. In one of the most well-known and ambitious ocean cleanup technologies is the ocean cleanup project led by the non-profit organization, the same name, because their system actually focuses on collecting plastic debris in the Great Pacific garbage patch and other large oceanic gyres. So what is the innovation here? The technology uses a system of floating barriers, also known as interceptors, to passively collect the plastic debris. So the system relies on natural ocean currents to concentrate plastics, which are then gathered by a larger U-shaped net, and the collected plastic is brought to the surface where it is removed and brought to shore for recycling. And of course, it's about autonomous operation. The effectiveness is related with plastic removal with scalability. Another important technology is on this field what we call interceptor technology. Is specifically designed actually to capture plastic waste in rivers before it reaches the ocean. Since rivers are major conduits for ocean plastic, tackling plastic pollution, of course, at risk at the river level is crucial. So we talk about automated river plastic collection scalable solution. Here you can see a photo of this. And the third, it's about ocean surface clip and nets. Several initiatives have developed these nets to target floating plastics. These systems are typically designed to use nets or barriers that can be dragged behind boats to gather debris. More advanced microplastic fibration, nanotechnology, using the nanotechnology of floating filtration systems. And of course, the effectiveness of this has to do with limited with complementary solutions. And plastic-eating bacteria and enzymes, plastic-eating microbes, enzyme-based degradation. Artificial intelligence, of course, robotics for monitoring, again here. AI-powered drones, data-driven approaches. Fish for fishing practices. How sustainable fishing practices supported by AI smart fishing gear. We use again here AI-powered monitor data analysis, predictive monitoring, smart fishing gear and devices, bycatch reducing nets, escape devices, acoustic deterrents. Smart gear, for example, and fishing methods, this kind of methods, they can reduce bycatch by ensuring that only the desired species are targeted. Electronic monitoring and reporting on board cameras and reporting systems. Fishery management and AI-driven decision support. It's about ecosystem-based management, dynamic catch quotas, marine spatial planning, and very interesting, of course, collaboration, but I want to show here the autonomous underwater drones. Autonomous underwater drones actually play a crucial role in both monitoring ocean health and assisting in cleaning up marine environments. These advanced machines are equipped with sensors, with cameras, and other technologies that allow them to operate autonomously underwater, gathering real-time data and performing tasks with minimal human intervention. Monitoring ocean health, mapping and surveying marine ecosystem, the water monitoring, coral reef monitoring, tracking marine life, and marine environmental cleanup. This has to do with plastic waste detection and collection. Integration with other technologies, sensor fusion, future potential. It's about targeted clinic action, advanced environmental restoration, sensing environmental changes related to climate change. And the floating barriers and interceptors contribute actually to this global fight against marine pollution. The floating barriers, the key functions, how to prevent debris from reaching the open ocean. Interceptor systems, active debris collection, waste sorting, etc. Collaborative impact, long-term contributions to marine pollution reduction, and the challenges that have to do with sustainability, scalability, technological advancements. Satellites and digital tools, it's all about improved enforcement of fishing zones, supply chain transparency, enhancing compliance with quotas and seasonal restrictions, and public engagement, of course, awareness interactive platforms are important. So thank you very much for your attention. I'll try to stick to the time. For any question, I'm here to discuss.